What you're looking at here is Parfums de Marly Sedley, one of 3 most popular fresh fragrances from their brand. Now, we all know that Parfums de Marly is an expensive brand, so it has to be worth it, right? Well, that question and more will be answered today, so let's get into the video. Sedley was a fragrance that was created in 2019 and popularized by the one and only Jeremy Fragrance.
Kraft, power, strength.
This fragrance is a citrus, woody, and blue fragrance that most people consider to be mass appealing, but it seems to also have a love-hate relationship in the fragrance community because some people like it and some people really don't. But one thing is for sure, this fragrance has an undeniably unique smell to it. The notes are lemon, mint, bergamot, grapefruit, mandarin orange, lavender, rosemary, geranium, ambroxan, sandalwood, cashmere, vetiver, cedar, and patchouli. The opening of this fragrance smacks you in the face with some bright citruses, and then it has some woodiness in there from the cedar, patchouli, and the vetiver, and that's where you get the more traditional blue fragrance smell from. But I think where most people's opinions start to differ about this fragrance is with the mint note. The citrus, woods, and the mint give this fragrance a masculine, clean, and almost soapy-like vibe to it. A lot of people call it the generic shower gel kind of smell, but I do think the mint changes stuff up enough to where it's not nearly as basic as most designer blue fragrances. Now, I do like this fragrance, but mainly for the first 3 hours. After that, the vetiver and the ambroxan really kind of overpower everything else, and those 2 things really hold this back from being much more unique than it could be. So with this fragrance, you'll either love it or you'll hate it, with not much room for an in-between opinion. Moving on to what seems to be everybody's favorite category, the performance. Now, due to the musks in the woods, you actually get some pretty good performance on this stuff. Normally with citrus fragrances, you don't get that good of longevity, but on Sedley, I get about 8 to 10 hours on a regular day, and on the really, really hot days, it's about closer to 6 to 7. Because of that, that makes Sedley a great option for the hot spring and summer months. It does seem to lack a bit in the projection, giving a moderate push for about 2 hours, and then it becomes a skin scent, so it's probably not the best option for fall and winter. However, this fragrance still is extremely versatile, and it could literally be worn for like every other situation. You get this translucent blue bottle with a heavy cap, as well as a perfect distribution from the atomizer. So in terms of presentation, you get an A+ from the Parfums de Marly brand. Now moving on to our final category, price. Now price has always been Parfums de Marly's biggest opposition because for a 75 milliliter bottle, this will hit you in the pocket for a staggering $240 US for retail. And then if you get the bigger 125 milliliter bottle, you'll be spending $330 US. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't recommend spending that much on this fragrance because it's just not worth it. I will not recommend that to you guys unless it is literally your only option. When in stock, you can find this on discounters for as low as $119 for a 75 milliliter bottle, or for the 125 milliliter, you can find it for as low as $144. I highly recommend just waiting till this stuff is in stock and then purchasing it at a much, much lower price. The highest I'd ever pay for this is $180, and even that is pushing it. So when it comes to my overall rating of Parfums de Marly 7, So when it comes to my overall rating of Parfums de Marly Sedley, I'm going to give this a overall rating of a flat 7 out of 10. I love the mint and citrus combo in here, and I think it does smell similar to some other fragrances, but that mint note does make it different enough to be in my collection. As well as the longevity is good in the hot weather, which is the main reason I purchased this fragrance. That being said, Sedley is very expensive. It's oftentimes hard to find on discounters. The quality is not the greatest quality, and this fragrance really is just not the most mass appealing. So that really makes it extremely hard to recommend this fragrance. So a flat 7 out of 10 is where this rating will stay. So guys, that is my review of Parfums de Marly Sedley. As always, if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. I am now really close to hitting 350 subscribers on YouTube, and I just want to thank all the people that have tuned into my channel. But that's all I have for you guys. I will see you guys in the next one.